Like when I was a kid, it was always the physiques. Like especially with anime, right? The guys have like that perfect physique with like broad delts and like chiseled abs and just the perfect physique. And I was like, when I was a kid, I want to look like that when I grow up. And it's also like the mindset, what those characters represent, like the dedication, discipline, having no excuses going into it. And I was like, hey, I can really identify with that. And like actually I started with something totally different when I was 12 years old with parkour and free running. Yeah. And it's also same, like inspired by like animes and stuff, like doing those tricks and flips, jumping from building to building. And then I started with, strength training, bodybuilding at 17. 10 years ago, I would be like, being at the World Championships at the Pro Natural Show, like, no way, that's not possible. Yeah, and then it evolved over the years, getting better and better and better, trusting the process. And I was never like obsessed about that end goal, I just loved the journey. And then it just happened on its own. Well, it's like almost like a byproduct of getting there. It's just like the love of the journey.
He knows the code, it's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tuck's picking it up. Let's go.
What's your name and where are you at right now and why are you here?
Alright, my name is Dirk Emmerich from Germany, living in Thailand actually, but I'm from Germany and I'm here in Boston for the WMBF World Championships, final show of my season and one day out, so I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, let's give it up for these guys, they're working hard.
There's a lot of like a big resurgence now in natural bodybuilding,
yes.
A lot of new interest in it. What do you think kind of got everybody's attention on it? Like,
that's a good question.
I think it's like the freaks, like the genetic freaks, where people like would say like 10 years ago, like that is a fake net, he's definitely not natural. Now the polygraphs, the out of season urine tests, so more and more people believe, okay, that's actually achievable natural. So that is why it's growing, I think, as well. Like before, especially 10 years ago, no one believed of like this or that can be achieved natural. And now more and more people believe what is actually attainable natural. And I think that is why it's growing more and more. Like people trust more into the sport. Not the first. I got like once very fit in 2015 where I did like a long cut. That was the hardest, I think, and then 21 again was very hard. Last year it got easier in a way because I know like what to expect, if that makes sense. And I have my systems in place. I know like what eating routine, the training routine, what is the best to have the least amount of fatigue from it in a way. And therefore I can push it to those like next levels. It's still hard though. Like it's never, it gets, wouldn't say it get easier, you learn to manage it better anyway, but it's never like an easy like walk through the park. Like never ever. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Dirk.
You look great.
Thank you so much.
You competing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes.
Shredded. Look at you.
Yeah. There's like more and more people because back in the days there've been like a handful of those freaks and now it's like more and more and then it's like, okay, they can't all be like fake, like it must be real. So yeah.
My experience is that it's a lot of value in being meticulous, like German engineering. I think as a natural bodybuilder you don't get away with stuff. And I also like people who have a no excuses mindset because there's a lot of natural bodybuilder who has a lot of excuses.
Yeah, because I can't get that tread that big, I hit my natural limit, that's a big one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or how did your athlete career start?
Oh, how it started. Like actually I started with something totally different when I was 12 years old with parkour and free running. And it's also same like inspired by like animes and stuff, like doing those tricks and flips and stuff like that, jumping from building to building. When I hit like 16, I injured my knees very badly, I had to stop. And then I started with, strength training, bodybuilding at 17. And now 12 years later, I'm here. And the cool thing is like, I feel like I get on better and better and better. And that's a big reason why I'm doing it, because I don't see a finish line, like it gets better and better. Like, and that's like the cool thing about like being in love with the process and progress.
Looking good, looking good.
I have a question. You mentioned you might take this next year off.
Yeah.
With natural bodybuilding, do you feel like do you have to take longer periods off to put on more?
I would say it's very much dependent on the genetics. Like for me, I have a very low like body fat settling range. So this means like my body likes to be lean. So the time to recover from the season doesn't take as long for me than average. And then also the prep is a little shorter. So for me, I think I improved from last year, but for most people I wouldn't recommend that. Because it takes for the average person way longer to recover and also way longer to get in shape. So the window is so small to make improvements. And when you recover quick and you have a shorter prep, you have a longer window to make gains.
So how do you feel now when you are a cartoon yourself? Like what you were dreaming about when you were a kid?
I think I look like it now, like,
yeah.
Like the Son Gohan Super Saiyan 2, or
yeah.
Son Goku. Yeah.
First and foremost, I'm very interested of natural bodybuilding. Over the years, been exposed to all the world's bodybuilding for 30 years plus. What do you think is the main key difference that keep you on the natural path?
I think a big difference is like on the natural bodybuilding side of things, you test specific things out and you see if it is working or not. So that is, I think, a big one, that you have to be a little bit more meticulous with some things in regards to training especially. And yeah, and the thing is like also a challenge for me of like, I really like that challenge as well of just doing it this way and seeing how far I can push it. Like both ways are amazing, but it's a different challenge on its own to reach like that peak level on both sides of things. So,
a lot of the guys got super excited when they found out that you were coming. Is there anybody that you look up to for information that like you fanboy over or study?
Like I would honestly say my own coach, Alberto Nunez, Team 3DMJ, Eric Helms, like the whole team. Like that's also like N1. Things like that. I like that stuff. Like I look up to, like when I take in information, and besides that also athletes like Niam Babagar, who's competing here as well. I take also a lot of inspiration from like other like elite athletes, and that's like I look up to like either like the physiques, the mindset, or then also like the scientific stuff, that side of things. So always trying to learn. I weighed it in like 145 pounds, so the lightest.
He's gonna be super full, he's gonna look like 180.
And that's the thing with illusions. I always tell people, don't worry about your body weight. At the end of the day, it's the look on stage. The weight doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Same thing in the gym, like the weights you lift doesn't matter as much as a bodybuilder. It's like how you lift them and like what gets the muscle.